On some techs, a little bit late as well on that fourth base. He didn't quite have the economy, whereas Solar was up at like 80 drones. He was playing super greedy, in fact. 80 drones, like 4 bases. He had that going for so long. Let's see if he can keep it up here in game number 2 on Coda. Up here in the top left in the blue, the first blue player tonight to take a loss. It is SOS.
And over here to the bottom right in red, it's Solar. So SOS looked really frustrated.
He looked a bit fluffed there in the booth.
Yeah, he was a bit miffed.
Someone's in there fluffing his feathers. He doesn't know what's going on.
Okay, forward pylon again.
Let's see if he goes forwards this time.
Yeah, that would be a bit of a cool twist. Okay, just going to do an extractor cancel. Don't panic, everybody.
I was like, he's not canceling that for the longest time.
Yeah, he definitely made that drone a little bit late, like slightly late.
Threw me for a loop there.
Actually, more like he made the extractor a bit too early, I guess is what I really should say. But yeah, it was a bit off there. It's okay, Solar. I mean,
don't get miffed.
Not a game changer, but ooh. What's it gonna be? Oh, the suspense. He didn't even cue it. It's a gateway.
Okay. All right. I guess he just wants to play like this again. And maybe Solar's gonna think, oh, he must be doing it for real this time. But he's actually not. Same build here from SOS.
Either way, he does have to pull some drones, because if you don't know and you don't defend, you lose.
Yeah.
And that's the shame of playing Zerg, unfortunately.
I wonder if SOS kind of just did the math on this. He's like, okay, if they pull at least 3 drones, maybe 4, and I just put 1 pylon down and I cancel it, it's 25 minerals for that, plus the lost mining time of this probe, who's also going to scout. You know, it's definitely worth it when you consider how much lost mining time there is.
Think about it this way. If 1 drone misses 15 trips, that's already paid for the cost of what he's going to get, what he's going to get back. I should say 5 trips is going to pay for the cost of the pylon in general, the lost minerals that he's never going to get back. So it's definitely, I think it's definitely worth it, especially if you've got 4 drones and it's each drone multiplied by 3, 4, how many trips he's missing.
Yeah.
It's, you know, again, resources, total resources, mine tab.
It does seem good. It does seem like Solar's figured it out, by the way. He like sent 2 drones down there, 1 to follow the probe and another 1 to patrol, and that was pretty much it. So I think Solar's just figured out SOS by this point.
Yeah. Reads his bluff here. Obviously, the Overlord's scouted by now. And let's see what sort of follow-up we're going to see from SOS here, because obviously he did go for that early gateway, so he will need to utilize that.
Yeah. You remarked that actually SOS looked a bit miffed. That's how you put it.
I think that's like, is that an Australian term? I don't know. I'm just trying to.
I don't know.
Trying to bring my Moonglade influence into here.
But also the Jin Air coach actually looked pretty frustrated when he first went in there. He like put his hands on the desk and kind of looked down and sighed, and he was kind of like, "Why didn't you do this?" Something like that's not really what you want to say to your players.
You made bailings, you still lost, I don't know.
It's like, if you do that again, we're going to have to kick you off the team. We talked about this. Like,
you'll be fine, you've got a lot of money. Just 1 in the gas remaining here. Probably going to take a 3rd base pretty soon. And we see the Stalker come out. This time, no Zealot, buddy. Lair.
Very early lair here. See what he decides to do with that.
Yeah.
Could be like a Nidus.
Versus Robo. Yeah, I mean, Nidus seems to be the most, like, you know, the most likely choice because we don't see 2-base Vita very often versus Protoss, because if you scout it, you just kill the Zerg, because Protoss units are much more powerful than Terran units at this stage in the game. Warp Gate research finishes, all you have to do is add gates, and then, you know, as a Terran player, if you could just add 6 barracks and attack, if you saw this, and the Marines could just rally out of a pylon, then you could actually win the game, right? But like, in this matchup, it's a bit different. It's a bit tougher to pull it off, but 3 extractors.
Yeah, he's getting a ton of gas here.
Starts to look like we're going to see 2-base Mutas.
I can't even remember the last time I saw this. In fact,
we almost never see this.
the lair's done, but he still hasn't put it down.
Yeah. Opting to add a ton more drones first and sending a drone to hide the Spire.
Gonna be hidden. That is awesome. And what a weird place to put it in. SOS is never going to see that.
You know, the thing is, though, I find this to a certain extent a bit strange, because what if he just pokes at the third base? He would see that, you know?
Look at the build of SOS. In the meantime, going for a Warp Gate all-in with Warp Prism.
Yep, and he has
By the by.
only 1 sentry, so it doesn't look like it's going to be a drop.
Oh, and he denies his scout. That Changeling only saw 1 building. I guess he can assume it's a gateway, but there's no way he can know how many gates, what came out of the robo. Did he even see the robo?
5 gates in total now being added. Spine's going up here. He's going to fly right into the Spire, it looks like.
Oh, man, this is going to be so close. He may see the creep there and be like, well, that's strange. Oh, and here we go.
And he sees it. And he's going to target it.
That's game.
Most likely, right? Solar's face. And this Spire will have to be canceled. Trying to bring some Lings over.
I mean, what are you going to do with Solar here? He has to cancel that. He's got a ton of unused minerals and gas. He has no buildings.
He has no tech. He has no Roach Warren. He has no Infestation Pit. He just starts a late Spire. SOS has already seen everything, and he's in a great position to actually Elevator, perhaps. Oh, he's going to do the Elevator trick in a professional match. Look at that. Coming in here and now trying to force his way in. Unfortunately, Queens do target down the Warp Prism.
Yeah, he really messed that one up.
Yeah, he's got to reposition the Spine Crawlers here, but that was a bit strange that he actually committed to that. I guess he didn't expect this many Lings. I mean, it was so cool to see Elevator trick in actual professional play.
He just, I don't know, he saw the spines at the front and he's just like, well, I guess I have to go in the back, but he totally messed it up. And now look at this, he's being totally cleaned up. He's going to have to recall. And now he's just going to desperately start 2 Stargates.
This is okay. Like, it's the funny thing about this is, oh, poor little sentry. It's like, hey, notice me. The funny thing about this is that could have been deadly if Solar wasn't ready, or if he actually got force fields on the ramp. But since it didn't do anything, it's like basically still Solar's kind of in an awkward place where he had to have a late Spire, and these 2 Stargates are coming up. And he still doesn't have a third base. It's just now being started. The worker count is basically even. In fact, SOS 1 Harvester ahead right now.
This is such a strange game so far, just the way this has all gone down. And SOS he's still got those gates from the Warp Gate all in, so he's going to come over here and cancel this for sure.
This is an insanely smart choice. Oh, can he save that sentry? Oh, no sentry left behind. This is cool because he knows that there's nothing on the map except Lings, so even if Lings come over to defend the hatch, then he trades really well with them with his Zealots. Obviously with some Mutalisks here, it's not going to be as good, but he sees the Mutalisks now, he knows they're out, he confirms they're on the map. This is a great move, and now he's going to have plenty of Phoenixes out in time to defend this, plus the Stalkers he has at home. Even like 3 or 4 Phoenixes is enough to deal with 12 Mutalisks with some Stalker support. No sentry left behind. Sentry's going to come back to do his job on this wall too. Everything comes together.
Ton of Lings getting to work at the front here. He's going to break down the wall, but there is that force field.
1 sentry down.
The +1 to air units here for the Protoss is going to be denied for now because the pylon went down. It's no longer powered, the Cybernetics core. So he's going to have to remake that pylon.
This is kind of crazy. I mean, the Solar's already shown that he's just straight up going to commit to air. He's got +1 about to finish. He's got Corruptors he's now making. 18 Mutas off 2 base.
This is going to be hard for SOS, I think. He's going to be stuck here on 3 base, or rather on 2 base, for so long. And once those Corruptors get in the mix, it is going to be much harder for SOS to deal with this big Mutable.
Well, when the Zerg player spends no gas except for his Spire and his Mutalisks, He's always going to have a lot more gas on pros, just getting upgrades, getting warp gate research, getting +1 for air, getting sentries out, getting stalkers, spending a lot more gas. So that's why a Zerg can commit to having this much gas units, this many gas units on 2 base, whereas a Protoss is going to really struggle to get that fleet beacon. I was going to say it's almost impossible for him to make it. He is going to commit to it to get that fleet beacon out, to get that Anion Pulse Crystals upgrade. That's so much gas for Protoss on 2 base. He has to spend so much to compete with this. He's already behind in the fact that he's made these Phoenixes a bit later.
Yeah, he's almost forced into it in a way, and I wonder if that's the idea behind Solar's build here. Warp Prism going to just fly on through and just sit over there.
Notice me from the name of the game.
He's like, I'm not going to drop anything unless you talk to me. He's like, okay, I'll fly away then.
If you talk to me, I'll drop on the spine just one zealot. I'll feed him. The Anion Pulse Crystals upgrade is going to suck the rest of the gas out of SOS, but it's something that is essential for him right now, with the Corruptors especially now on the map.
Yeah.
You need that to link the lasers.
The one thing that is going well for Solar, or rather for SOS, is that the 3rd base was delayed for so long. He still has the threat of this Warp Prism, which funnily enough never got dealt with. And once SOS does get the upgrade, all these air units are going to have a really rough time going up against this many Phoenixes.
Yeah,
this guy.
Exactly. I mean, he's got a decent amount of Corruptors, and he is making more. But with good... Oh, wow, this is a big control mistake. He lost so many mutas, and he's even just going to run past that small Corruptor count and continue to trade here. And actually, he's just going to come home and continue to help his Warp Prism out. Look at this, 1 Corruptor at a time is not how you want to be fighting these. Losing so many Overlords as well. And the Zealots continue to do damage, but look at the supplies. SOS is still stuck on 2 bases, and a Protoss cannot afford to make 2 Stargate Phoenixes on 2 base when he's also getting +2 and trying to get Anion Pulse Crystals and a Fleet Beacon. It's just, it's not what you want. It's not ideal. Zerg's on 3. He's got a 4th base coming up. SOS is on a clock here. He needs to start a 3rd base at the very least, and he can't make a Gateway army to couple with these Phoenixes because, again, he doesn't have the gas.
He's got barely anything, really. He's making only Zealots in these drops, but they're not even really doing that much damage, which is kind of interesting. Now SOS is going to try to make that 3rd base, but there's so many Lings on the map. And look at that Gateway army. He's got 3 Zealots, 4 Stalkers, and the 1 Sentry that is still alive in this game.
He's just going to ignore the Phoenixes and go for a big attack.
Yep, they can hit ground, they can hit buildings.
They can hit that core. And this Gateway army, again, is very puny. But with the wall there, it's a bit tough. I'd rather see him hit the 3rd. He doesn't know about it. So many
Overlords. He doesn't even check it, because that really is like the win condition here for SOS, getting up these bases. You need to check and make sure, at least.
So again, like I was saying before, the lasers will link on Corruptors with the Anion Pulse Crystals upgrade. So if 1 Corruptor gets too far ahead, we'll have 15 Phoenixes shooting at it at once, and it will never. The rest of the Corruptors, because of acceleration, will never be able to hit those Phoenixes.
Yeah.
So you're just going to lose the Corruptor unless you pull it back. So it's really important to micro those Corruptors against the Phoenixes. You don't want to lose them 1 by 1, which is what SOS is trying to do. He's trying to find them 1 by 1 and link the lasers. Notice how he picks them off like this? Those Phoenixes are one of the only units in the game that can move and fire at the same time.
I love Phoenixes. Very cool unit. And yeah, we're getting to a very interesting point in this game now where SOS does have that 3rd base up, but Solar got his own 4th base. And just the way this map works out and the composition he's gone for, it's going to take a while for SOS to really punish that unless he goes for another Warp Prism here, which he has not built. You know, he could actually support going for those big drops, but he has to scout it. Finally, he does see it. And I think we'll see that harass in just a moment's time here.
To give you guys an idea of how much damage these Phoenix have done and how many units Solar has traded on more bases, he has 10,000 resources lost to the 5,000 of SOS, so he's been half as efficient in these trades, but he's had basically twice the economy, so that's why this game remains relatively even. The control on these Corruptors has to be good. It has to be good. It cannot be like this. You cannot, look at the link. You link on 1 Corruptor, you pull back. If you just A-move your Corruptors, they have the same range as Anion Pulse Crystal Phoenixes. And, you know, you got to be careful about that. You can't lose these Corruptors. They're expensive, and Phoenixes are going to get away. And they're going to keep doing damage. He's lost so many Overlords. I don't even know how many. So many.
In fact, SOS may not even have to go for War Prism over there in the bottom left. He could either just run Zealots over there or just send his Phoenixes down because he's got so many. There's only one Spore Crawler down here. He can wipe that whole base out and all of its mining if he found some space to do so.
With how many Infestors we saw in Game 1, I feel like most people are pretty shocked we're not seeing an Infestation pick get made here to help deal with these Phoenixes. If your Infestor count is low and they get picked off while they're trying to get them out, I can understand why that's pretty stressful. That's a big commitment to gas. But Infestors would probably be the best way to deal with these big clumped up Phoenixes, right? Without any of them on the map. That's why it's just like, okay, I've got full range. Come and chase me with your slow corruptors. I dare you. I'm out of here. Like 6 kills and I'm out. Yep. Keeping the worker count even. Zealots are going over there without a Warp Prism, actually, like we were talking about, but still going to threaten this. It's going to force Mutalisk to move over there.
Yeah, nice scout there from SOS, or rather from Solar. Just a couple of lings. He knew that was a threat. Is what you see at this highest level. Just players reading each other, reading their next move. It's kind of like chess, you know? Where are you going to send your units next time? You're going to send them to my base, so why don't I scout to make sure that doesn't happen?
All right, we're starting to see some better micro here on these Corruptors. The Phoenixes do find a Mutalisk or two there. Oop, that one lagging Corruptor behind. Oh, and that Mutalisk. That'd be unfortunate. I mean, the Phoenixes are like piranhas, man. They will latch on and rip something to shreds, and they're just roaming around the map. Anything that gets linked within that fire in that range will get blasted. Now, this is a very difficult engagement to make here for Solar, and his inability to transition here, I feel like, might be what cost him this game. Yeah. No Infestors still. He's losing one Corruptor at a time.
He's going solely air. He's got 44 lings. That's it besides his air units. And look at what SOS is massing up here. He's going to have so many gateways, I think, in total, at least 10, maybe 9. And he's going to have a huge Phoenix Force to deal with in the air. At the same time, he's going to have these very highly upgraded, very highly upgraded air units. But he's got a lot of Stalkers on the ground with Blink right now. 28. In fact, just a couple of sentries, throw down some force fields. He's got the Guardian Shield for the bounce from the Mutas, and he's going to be golden.
I cannot stress enough the micro here on the Corruptors is so important. When one Corruptor gets linked like that, you have to pull it back. It's like microing drones versus Reapers or something. You just pull it back, and then if the Phoenixes chase it, the rest of your Corruptors take out the Phoenixes that chase. You've got to be very careful about those getting picked off one by one. He's losing so many of them. It's costing him so much to keep replenishing those. Finally, Pathogen Glands on the way, and we're starting to see some ground upgrades from both players. Blink is done. The next logical step, I feel, if we continue to see only air units, is probably adding some Archons in here. Archons do the splash damage to the Mutalisk and the Corruptors, and also work wonders, obviously, against anything they can get close to, including Infestors. There's girls like, this game is tense. They keep making the flying ones.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I don't like the bugs. They're gross. What's that stuff on the ground?
These Phoenixes have +3. I mean, I know we've already mentioned this, but I just want to mention this again. They have +3. The Corruptors have +2 armor, plus their built-in armor, which is important because Phoenixes have a double attack, which means the armor is applied twice, which is why he went for +2 armor instead of +2 attack. But he stopped making attack upgrades. He didn't get +3 armor. He didn't get, oh, well, I guess it's because Hive isn't ready yet. But as soon as Hive's ready, he should be getting that, right? +2 not as important, but he could have been getting it this whole time. This game is just really weird, and there's not a ton of things to say as we're kind of just watching the fireworks here, but I'm trying to, like, you know, give all the info I can to the viewer right now because I've got this observing PC that lets me look at things. Adrenal Glands on the way.
I think SOS suspects a transition out of Solar very soon, and he would be right. Ultralisk Den just started as the second robotics facility has started. So both players kind of just gearing up for that later game PvZ, ZVP, and getting all the different units and techs that they will be needing here.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. He's going to try to beat in these Phoenixes.
He sees it.
Uh-oh.
No observer here, though, as far as I can tell. Oh, wow. Stalker's actually out of position. And the Corruptors are in a place where this is going to be very difficult to actually engage straight up. Because he can't just pull them off one by one. It's going to be really tough, this micro. All right.
At the same time, some Lings trying to run over to that bottom, or rather top right base, it looks like. At least gathering over here in front of the third. Oh, he doesn't even know about that base.
Well, he's about to find out, I guess. Well, nope, sending over to the third base instead.
Instant warp him to block off that tiny choke there. Really nicely done by SOS.
Yeah, +2 Zealots versus +1 Armor Lings. going to have a hard time, those Lings. Again, the transition is just so late for Solar, and it's already been prepared for by SOS, like you were mentioning before. He's ready to make Ultras, rather than make Immortals for Ultras at a moment's notice.
Yeah, doesn't see them yet, hasn't scouted the main, hasn't seen the Ultraless den, so he hasn't made any Ultras just yet. Just some game units, and he is going for that attack. Some bungles coming out here, going to delay it.
Yep, under spines, but a blink forward here. The problem is 2 Ultralists do come out, and if these Stalkers can't move, the Ultras will do a lot of damage here.
Yeah, but still so many Stalkers as well, as the Archons doing a ton of damage to those biological units, and here he comes. Nothing really left back at home for Solar to deal with this gigantic Gateway army.
Positioning here definitely not in Solar's favor either. Those 4 Ultras are taking forever to come out. He doesn't have any more Infestors. All he's got are these air units that are just not really that useful. He lost all of his Mulists, so all that's left are the Corruptors, which are being picked off one by one. So the supply that you see in the top right isn't really indicative of this relevant supply of units in this game, which is quite small for Solar right now. He has that base to bottom left still. He is going to get 3 more Ultras, but these Corruptors are dead supply unless he gets a Greater Spire and starts to use them, which would be very difficult to do with this many air units on the map.
Yeah, kind of funny that SOS backs off here, in fact. He had such great momentum. I guess he just got a bit scared.
I think he's worried about like a bunch of Infestors popping out. I think he just wants to make sure he's got the best army possible. There's the Greater Spire.
At the same time, he's giving time for what you just said, Greater Spire, more Ultras to come out. You know, he hasn't even built any Immortals just yet. He's making 2 right now, thankfully. He's definitely going to need that against those 5 Ultras, but there was that moment where SOS was attacking Solar there, and there was Ultras popping out one by one, not grouped up together. They had no support. Kind of reminded me of that game. I think it was Myungshik versus Leenock on Deadwing. Cross-spawn, super late game. Myungshik was able to finally win because he had like 20 gateways, and he warped in a million Blink Stalkers with +3.
That was
the
a great
Ultras
game.
were just not grouped up together, and they couldn't deal with it.
I remember that game really well because it was like one of Kanata's top 5 games or whatever that was always being shown in our commercial breaks. Yeah, I remember that game. That was pretty sick. +3 finally will complete the ground upgrades here for SOS, whereas just now only +2 for the Ultras. The Ultras with only +1 attack this entire time. They do have the Chitinous plating, but their attack upgrades are pretty flimsy. And the Immortal count getting high.
Yeah, definitely about to hit 4 there, but SOS very comfortable, as many Protosses are these days, to just play ultra late game against Zerg. He's like, no, I don't have to kill you. I did some damage. Let's take a 5th base. Artosis would be proud.
You know, the Broodlords are coming out. There are on the map right now only 8 Phoenixes left. With proper control, this would work really well. I want to point out one thing that's absolutely crazy, because he just has no minerals. He has 1 Queen on the map right now. 1 Queen. Look at that unit tab. Okay, good fungal. Is there a follow-up with the Broodlords? They're close. He needs to chain the bungles, and here they come. Broodlings raining from above. Another fungal locks those Archons in place. The Immortals at the back doing massive amounts of damage, but he's just zoning here. Don't forget, there's tons more Infestors nearby that can be used any moment that he needs to call upon them.
And SOS is desperately trying to run away, but Solar's not going to try to give them that time. And SOS just does not have the composition to deal with that many Broodlords in the sky. He's trying to go for the blink.
Great move here on those Infestors to keep them here for this exact situation, to lock these Stalkers down. A very smart move from Solar. Will it matter, though? I think the answer is no, because the Stalkers blink under the Broodlords. The Ultras go on the other side. When you have Broodlords fighting Stalkers, Ultras fighting Immortals, it's exactly the opposite of what you want. GG.
Turns out he had the exact right unit comp to deal with what Solar had just based on the positioning. The Ultras fought the Immortals. The Blink Stalkers got right underneath the Broodlords. No fungals to keep them in place. And SOS takes an amazing fight to win that game.
He makes a split-second decision to attack there. As soon as he sees the Ultralists are hitting the base, he knows they're too far away, and he can blink in. And if he had been just a little bit more aware, even left only half of his Ultras there, I think the Stalkers could not have blinked like that and done that. So, I mean, even Solar knew there was a high chance it was going to happen. He had those Infestors ready, but he left the Ultras to fight the Immortals. It's like the exact wrong thing to do.
It was a pretty crazy game regardless. Really enjoyed that one.
Both of them. Pretty gnarly so far.
Yeah. And that really speaks to how damning of a game StarCraft can be at times. Your army is so slightly out of position, you can lose a fight that you may have been favored to take, and it's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah.
Solar very obviously frustrated after that game as well, but it looks like Stork being a very good coach, calming him down, making him laugh, and should be ready to go.
If I were Stork right now, just based off of watching that game,